Power bills generally double over the winter months, putting more and more families under financial pressure. And today, 1 in 5 New Zealand households battle power poverty. But a new government initiative is looking to change that. Energy Mate is a new part government, part industry funded program stepping in to help to tell us more about it and to give us some top tips on how to keep your electricity bills as low as possible. We're joined by the Chief Executive of the Electricity Retailers Association of New Zealand, Cameron Burrows. Good morning, Cameron.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having us on, Ryan.
Roughly, tell us, what is Energy Mate? How does it work?
Well, look, we don't want any family, we want all families actually to be living in warm, dry, healthy homes with affordable energy costs. And we know that actually some families in New Zealand struggle. They struggle to pay their power bills, or they have to face the choice between going into debt with their power company and maybe paying for their doctor's bill. So we've launched Energy Mate, which is all about going into people's homes and helping them make sure they're on the right power plan, helping them with some power saving tips, so to make sure they're heating their home as efficiently as possible, and also helping them with some wider budgeting advice, because actually if someone's struggling to pay their power bill, often that's a symptom of a wider issue that we need to solve that's around education and incomes and housing, rather than just being about the power bill itself.
So what proportion of power bills aren't paid on time, do you know?
Well, look, I don't have that stat, but what we do know is that New Zealand uses a heck of a lot of power. We've actually got relatively cheap power in New Zealand internationally.
Because we've got crappy homes, haven't we? I mean, they're not built very well, they're not insulated. So you don't know...
glazed, all those sorts of things.
You're not sure what the proportion is of homes that don't pay their bills on time. How many coaches are you guys putting up to help people with their bills?
So we're starting relatively small. We're rolling it out in South Auckland and Rotorua and in Porirua, and looking at to roll out to 150 families to start with to test the concept, and then we're looking to roll out further beyond that once we understand what works and what doesn't. And we're finding that actually a lot of families are able to do one really simple thing, which is to compare plans. That's the best thing you can ever do if you're trying to cut back on your power costs, is to make sure you're on the right plan for you. But they're also finding there's lots of simple things you can do around the home that you might have thought of before and just not implemented, or there's some things you haven't thought of that are great ways to just cut back on your power bill in winter, because it can be quite tough.
Things like changing the light bulbs and tinkering around the edges, getting rid of the second fridge if there is one. But in South Auckland, for example, there are families who live in one room. They all live in the lounge because that's the warmest place to be during the winter time. I mean, this tinkering around the edges, I'm sure it might make a small difference, but it's not going to solve the underlying problems, is it?
Well, no, and that's why we need to look at this as a broader issue than just electricity costs. Actually, we need to look at our housing fundamentally. As we said before, New Zealand's housing just isn't up to scratch and it needs to be improved. And the government's taking some great steps to improve it with the new insulation laws and new rules around needing to have a heat pump in your home. But the savings you can make by doing things a little differently in your home are not insignificant. I mean, things like putting LED lights in, that can save $100 a year. And LED lights used to be prohibitively expensive. You can now pick up a pack of 6 for $10 at your local Bunnings. These are cheap and implementable things that everyone can do to actually save some money.